The times are weird right now, and as synth lovers and music producers, we might find ourselves being on lockdown, self-isolated, having, not that much to do or struggling getting going. So I thought I'd make a little list of stuff you can do during self-isolation or lockdown, just some tips and ideas. And please feel free to share your tips and ideas down in the comment section.
Nummer 1.
Let's start with something easy. I think that cleaning always helps. Reorganizing your studio, putting things away, cleaning it out is always great fun. Wait, what did I just say? I meant that it can help you become productive again. It's a great way to relieve some stress and a great way to feel good about yourself and your surroundings. And specifically, one thing that I think a lot of us are avoiding is taking all of those millions of cables that we have and straightening them out and sorting them. You guys didn't see this.
Hello BoBeats channel, it's Accurate. And I've spent a lot of time here in my home studio lately because of reasons, and I've done a few different projects like trying to live stream a bit more, and the main thing is that I have organized my entire studio to be a bit more effective. And I want a quick workflow here where I can make both music and videos quickly and post them and get stuff going. So one of the really big things was to take out 2 big closets that I had on this wall. I made a YouTube video on that. So screwing them out of the wall, carrying them down to the basement, repainting the wall and reorganizing everything. That definitely took a while. It took me about a week to get everything set up to the state that it's in now, and it's not even really finished yet. But it is what it is. Anyhow, I think right now is a perfect time to spend a few extra hours on your physical space and try to get us as comfortable and cozy and inspiring as possible. Personally, my next step here is to fix my lighting a little bit, both for the video making part, but also for just having a cozy place to make beats in. Lighting really is a big thing, and it makes a lot of difference. So yeah, thanks for having me as a part of this, Bo, and take care and ha det gott.
Nummer 2.
Another thing you could be doing if you have spare time is finding new and interesting artists to listen to. And speaking more on that is my friend Robin.
Hello, my name is Robin Rambo, Scanner, and it's a tough time for many of us at the moment. I've used this time to work here in the studio. I've been broadcasting live from here on Instagram and YouTube. I've been making lots and lots of music. I've actually had time to do the stuff I wanted to do, which is unusual in a way. But I think more than ever right now, what we need to do is support one another. Link to other people's music, share something on Twitter, use Instagram, use any of the social networks to support other musicians. If it's not just about making money, it's about making them feel loved again, not forgotten. Music is something that connects everyone in a very social way. But at the moment, many of us feel very isolated. So let's just find a way to connect one another through this and look forward to a time when we can actually hug one another again, see each other, and share music in a very social way. So take care and see you all soon. Bye.
Nummer 3.
If you're a music producer or artist that haven't tried live streaming, you really should. It's a lot of fun. I've been live streaming pretty much every day this week, sometimes twice a day, just streaming my music making process, some Q&A. And honestly, in a time where we're super isolated from each other, I've found that streaming has been a great resource. It's been good fun. Even if it's just a couple of people, it's a great way to connect with your fans and viewers. Maybe I can play some Matriarch. Give me a second. You guys are gonna make me break my studio, that's for sure. Okay, we have that. How's that for some space bleeps? So I definitely recommend it, and it doesn't have to be complicated. A smartphone, some kind of audio interface, and I would urge you, do not overcomplicate things. The point with a live stream is that it feels natural, it feels genuine, it feels personal. Don't worry about the technicalities. Like, don't worry about setting up some super advanced setup like I got going on here. Because while it's cool and all, you can really do a great stream with very little resources. A smartphone, an audio interface, and just doing something you're passionate about on stream. That's all you need.
Nummer 4.
Now, I don't want to talk too much about buying stuff in this video, but there are plenty of cool resources out there for free or at a discount, or trials that are being extended. So for example, we have sample packs by Heinbach. I put out a free sample pack as well. I saw that Gabe Miller put out a sample pack for the Novation Circuit. I saw that Redman's Recording put out a free patch pack. There's also plenty of discounts. I'll link some below. And there's also trials being extended. So for example, you can get the Ableton Live Suite with, I think, a 90-day trial. And you can get Reaper for free for a limited time, if I'm not mistaken. I'll link it down below together with other resources. But there's a lot of stuff out.
Nummer 5.
Andrei over at the Simply Synthesizers Facebook group came with the recommendation to sample random stuff. He sampled some of his daughter's toys, which I thought was a fun idea. So that's something you can do.
Nummer 6.
Collaborate with your friends on music. Now's the time to take up on that offer to collaborate with somebody. A lot of us are staying inside at home. We're slightly bored or not very productive or feeling, a bit down about the situation. So take this opportunity to collaborate with somebody. And there's actually a cool plugin. I think it's by Audio Movers. It's used to stream audio from a DAW so somebody else can listen in and hear what's going on. So this could be an interesting way to collaborate on a project. Now, speaking of collaborating, here's a little word from a friend of mine, and you might know him. His name is Tim Exile.
Hey Bo, how are you doing? And hey Bo's viewers, how are you doing? I hope you're holding up okay in this crazy new world that we're in. So yeah, massive respect to Bo for doing a video about tips to survive isolation as musicians, how we can, ways that we can come together and help each out and sort of collaborate together live. And there's something that there's a really good tip that I really want to share, that I really want to promote to you today. Quorn mini eggs. These will save your life if you're ever feeling alone, and I'll show you how these work. It's a bit quick, like unboxing. Just you need to be quite careful when you pull this top wrapping layer off, because it can rip. So open very carefully. And I would recommend only opening them halfway, because there's a little ridge here. And I would also I wouldn't recommend eating more than 6 at once. But I'm just going to do one. Here's one I ate earlier. Very good. Just have half. Leave that. You can also shove the other half in. Also, if you want to collaborate live, remotely, there's this great app called Endless. We just launched it. It's really good. There's thousands of people on there right now making music together live, and it's super exciting. You can also plug it into your hardware synths. You can plug it into DAW. You can find... Sorry, So come get involved with Endless. Set up a jam with your friends. Quorn mini eggs. Thank you.
Nummer 7.
So another thing that you synth lovers could be doing is taking your favorite synth and sample it. And even if you're not feeling like using it right now, it's a good kind of routine task to do, and then you'll have it. So when things change for the better, you can look back and say, well, at least I did this. You could also be sharing it with your friends or even sell it, put it up on a store. I'm using gumroad.com for a store, and I can definitely recommend it. So sample your favorite synth for yourself or for somebody else, or to sell.
Nummer 8.
Another thing that you could be doing, especially if you're home alone, is take your own music, your favorite track that you secretly really love to listen to on repeat, put it on your stereo, pump the volume, and just do some dad dancing. actually very liberating.
Nummer 9.
And here's a tip from the Simply Synthesizers Facebook group. Somebody wrote there that you should be trying to use your synths, effects, and Durac maybe in weird and unorthodox ways.
Hello, Oscillator Sync here. I have a weird fetish for turning every single synth I own into a drum machine, and every drum machine I own into a synth.
With synths, there are so many things to explore. This is a great time to develop your skills. So in order to do this, set a goal, something that's meaningful to you. Do you want to improve your songwriting skills? Do you want to improve your mixing, your mastering, general production? Maybe you're finally gonna learn how a compressor works or go in depth with FM synthesis. Regardless of what it is, find resources to help you set up some kind of schedule, what you want to do, some kind of routine. So personally, I have actually spent a lot of time mixing. I'm using Machina a lot to mix, which is a new experience. Find a learning goal that is meaningful to you, focus on that and improve your skills.
11.
If you haven't already, now is a great time to get involved in the synth and music production group over on Facebook that we created. It's called Simply Synthesizer. I'll link it down below. Join in, join the conversations. There's a lot of sharing going on, sharing your music, your jams, but also sharing resources, having discussions. It's a friendly and mature place, so feel free to join. You can also join the BoBeats Discord. It's more of a live chat that we use also for the live streams here on the channel. I'll link it down below as well.
12.
Freddie over on Facebook said that he's been trying to finish old projects, and it got me thinking that's actually a really good idea, and that's actually something I'm doing too without thinking about it. I picked up like a, I think 4-year-old house tune that I'm working on. And it felt really good and rewarding to finish up some old music. So if you have projects laying around, go back, listen to them. Maybe there are some hidden gems there that you have forgotten about. And speaking about old projects, sometimes an old project is perhaps not a good song, but it could contain interesting loops, samples, sounds, progressions, melodies that you could reuse into a new song, for example. So that's also something you could be doing.
13.
Another fun thing you could do is challenge yourself. So one challenge, for example, is taking a piece of kit, say a synth, and just making a whole song out of it. You could do these 10-minute challenges, make a little synth setup or use your DAW, set the timer to 10 minutes and see what you can create in 10 minutes. You could limit yourself to just using the stock plugins in a DAW to create something, and all of this could also become fun content that you could put out on your YouTube or Instagram or something and share with the world. Or take a sample that you think is really cool, share it with your friends, and everybody makes something with it and shares with each other. Maybe you could have like a Skype conference and playing the music for each other or something. Just a few examples of fun challenges that you could be doing.
14.
If you're a musician, artist, or creative that lost income due to the crisis in the world, I would say that now is a great time to explore alternative sources of revenue. You could be live streaming. If you have some special skill, you could be creating courses. Maybe you have a fan base that would be interested in you making like a 3-part course about something that you know a lot about. Or you could be making sample packs. For example, I've talked to many musician friends who unknowingly have a vast library of samples that they could put together in different sample packs. You could put it out for, pay what you want, download for free, or you could ask your followers and fans to actually pay something for it to support you in these troubling times.
15.
Even if you're not feeling particularly creative right now, now is a great time to do a deep dive. So personally, I'm deep diving into the Mod Duo X effects pedal, where you can build your own pedals, which is really cool. I mean, I think there's plenty of software that you have, that you are interested in, that is inspiring to you, but you've just scratched the surface. So really taking the time to learn stuff that you already have is not only a great way not to spend more money on stuff you may or may not need, but it's also a great way to take away some of that pressure to create, to create something, a product, something finished. Instead, see learning something for its own sake as the goal.
Och en bonus.
Now, last in today's video, I want to touch on something that I've talked about in a previous video of mine, the 25 tips how to finish your music. And it's something that's very important when there's a crisis going on in the world. And that is the fundamental attribution error. You see, we often overemphasize personal reasons why we're doing something or why somebody else is doing something and put too little focus on situational factors. Now, what does this mean for the current situation? Well, it means that we should be aware that when we're in this worldwide crisis, we as creatives are, of course, entitled to feel stressed, to feel down about it, to, not feeling it, not being creative, not feeling like creating something. Even if we have a lot of time on our hands, it's not necessarily that we can achieve stuff because of the pressures, the stress from everything that's going on around us, whether it's like all the stuff that we're seeing in the media, on social media, or it's just kind of anxiety, dread, or even depression that stems from the state of the world. And I think being in the midst of this crisis, it's very natural that you're feeling all of this. And some of you are feeling really productive or creative in these times, which is also totally fine. But I think that being accepting that the current situation is really taking a toll on a lot of us, that's important. I can be totally transparent and honest and say that I haven't been feeling it these last few weeks. So I started live streaming regularly just to kind of get out of this rut. I wanted to get out of this feeling of almost like hopelessness, So that's why I started streaming, and I feel like I got out of it. That's why I'm making this video, because I started streaming, started connecting again, starting to get back into, a habit of being creative and breaking out of this, weird sense of almost despair. So I want to leave you on that positive note that it's perfectly fine to feel bad about the current situation. It's perfectly fine to be creative and feel almost energized by it as well. It's totally fine. Don't feel ashamed either way, but it's possible also to break out of it. So thank you so much for watching this video, and be sure to check out all the links in the description to the people who were in the video, to different discounts that could be interesting to you, or different resources that I've put together. So check the description and check the tag comments, and leave your favorite suggestions as well, what you're doing to cope with this situation. Talk to you later. Changing the world for the better, one dad dance at a time.